Well, we've been sitting here for an hour, just like shooting the shit,
Yeah, also
not
true.
playing Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
Are you guys ready? Do we want to play a little bit before it
I
gets
guess
too late?
so.
Oh
Alright,
yeah, if we have to.
let's play a little bit of
Ah,
D&D.
cool. So, you guys were in fallen city out in the middle of the desert after the Blackstaff. It was in the possession of a gold dragon who went insane and exploded. And Vajra's response to that was to grab all of you and teleport you out. Um, so she teleports you all out of the city, and you all appear in her office in the Blackstaff Tower. The glass obsidian walls that you can see out of, the familiar sounds of the city echoing out. You can hear the buoys out in the ocean, the sound of gulls, the hustle and bustle of students on the streets in the college, and the crackle of the magical fireplace in the room with her. She sort of blinks, looks around at all of the group of you, and goes, "The fuck?"
Yeah, I don't know.
And then Layla just immediately lays on the ground and kisses the floor. My city!
We found the black staff.
Jordan hands it over. I think no, actually, I gave it to Kelrick at the.
Yeah, Kelrick just does the, you know.
Yeah, she holds out her hand and like into her hand.
Someone used to use it.
And she sort of looks it over and she goes, "Well, now, well, just to let you know, the dragons that were already in the city have all been put on lockdown in some manner. We've had a couple try to get in, which hasn't turned out well for them, but now at least I can push any out that get out of hand. This is a good thing. Um, Congratulations, you all look like shit."
Yeah, it was terrible.
Wait. Was there a young bronze dragon that
Oh
tried to get into
yeah,
the city?
my friend in the
Um,
bay.
She looks at you and goes, Um, no. Uh, he is out in the bay still.
Is he in quarantine? Is he social distancing?
She nods. Something like that.
Okay.
I had to use one of the giant statues to hold him down, and I put big chains on him.
Aww.
Poor baby. Okay, guys. Yeah, we look like shit.
She nods. A few of them, they met with some sort of council of like other dragons, and they all
Oh
decided
yeah.
to magically hibernate. So they're just sleeping through the whole thing, but I don't think that's very helpful.
Well, I mean, it's not helpful to us, but that's helpful to them, I think.
I found out something while we were traveling. I don't know if it'll help much though. So he pulls out like the 3 vials of dragon blood and says, if you cast detect magic, you'll see that there's a spell that's affecting these, and then it kind of doesn't affect Chris. I know that sounds it makes sense if you look at it.
She nods. That certainly sounds like something we should look into. Maybe after the group of you have had a bath. You are all covered in dust and blood, and
I figured you could take a look at it while we do that.
Kelrick, are you asking me to watch you take a bath?
No.
Wait, no. Are you asking me to watch Chris take a bath?
No.
Ooh!
Look at the dragon
Watch
blood.
me.
I mean, you can
Oh.
join us if you want.
One big bath. One
No,
big
One
bath.
big bath.
Alright.
One big
Yeah.
bath.
She holds out like the hand with the staff in it. I need to figure out how this works, and she points at the staff. If you want to leave the vials with me here, you can leave them with me here. Maybe come see me tomorrow. By then, they'll have enough figured out that I can parse some of this.
Okay.
Your friend Ira, one of you should talk to her. And then I may have some information on what's causing the actual rage, or at least a vague idea. I've been researching it while you were gone. So go get cleaned up, see your family, and check on your inn. And then when you're done, you can come back to the Blackstaff or to the tower. We can have dinner together or something.
Oh, that sounds nice. Is it gonna be like a potluck, or is it gonna be catered?
She shrugs. You won't need to bring anything.
Oh, okay. Just wondering. We do own a salad bar.
You won't need to bring anything. Just trust me.
I mean, we can cater too. Like, we have excellent rates.
I'm
Smiles
going out the door.
and like starts to rub her face, and she's like, Sure, Jordan. Oh, you can bring a salad if you want, but it's my treat. We'll call it my treat."
Oh, thanks, Vajra.
Awesome.
She nods. You guys can go now.
Oh.
I'm already walking. Like I'm
Yeah,
already like halfway down the street.
The door, like,
I'm with her. Yeah.
magically unseals itself.
And I'm freaking out because there's people everywhere and like nothing bad has happened to me in the 20 feet that I've walked.
Like twitching.
Yeah. She's just like puts her hood up and she's like this.
Yeah.
And like avoiding everyone, like they're gonna stab me.
Oh, I'm gonna put my arm around your shoulder and just pat your head
Oh, Chris.
and whisper soothingly to you. It's okay.
I've been gone for so long.
I know. It'll be fine. We've seen a lot of stuff.
She has some tears and she just walks with little Chris.
No.
Big Chris. Whichever, I don't know.
No, I'm definitely shorter than you.
Little Chris. Take me
Alright.
home.
Calric sympathizes because this is exactly how he felt whenever he first arrived.
Are you desensitized to it now?
A little bit.
First thing Layla does when she gets back is she's like, babies!
Okay, so you guys just head straight back to the severed head.
Yeah.
Okay, let me get the map.
Just gonna make out with Ira. Touch the babies on their foreheads. And be like, my babies, you're here.
I'm gonna cover their eyes while you're making out with Ira.
Why?
When a mommy figure loves another mommy figure very much.
Kelly.
Oh God, who are
I'm
these?
sure it gets a little
Jordan.
sloppy.
Oh.
It's a bar. So you can see Sophia, the daughter of Boris, the guy who you guys hired as a cook, is waiting tables. As you guys are approaching the outside of the yawning portal, of the severed head, you can see sort of dotted about outside of it a few of the thugs you hired to watch the place, still seemingly doing their thing. And when you walk in through the front door, sort of propped up. Why is he over here? Propped up on a stool next to the door is a hulking half-orc who has a unlit pipe clutched in his teeth and a tiny little book in his hands. And he's sort of leaned up against the door like a bouncer. And he just walk in, he just sort of nods at you and goes back to his little book. People wave at you, and you can see a few people that you know, like the Boris's daughters. You can see at the back of the room there's a hulking woman, a large lass, with a huge warhammer with the holy symbol of Tyr engraved on it, leaned up against the wall next to her. And sitting across the table from her is Finn, with a bag of sunflower seeds set next to him on one side and a glass of ale on the other. And he sort of looks at all of you quizzically and like awkwardly waves with one hand. You don't see the kids, at least not immediately.
You hear some bell chimes and like a nod.
Yeah, she just looks at you and nods.
So what do we owe this? Hi. What's up? How's it
Finn sort of
going?
leans around the hearth in the middle of the room and is like, I drink here sometimes. Where have you been?
In the desert.
It sounds unpleasant.
I can't remember my name.
Very-
It was.
It's
It's
Layla.
Layla. Layla, your name is Layla.
I've been through the desert on a horse with no name.
It's okay.
I
It's
have
okay,
a name.
Layla.
It's Calric.
Oh yeah. Hey, Finn.
Uh,
Calric doesn't remember me.
That sucks.
Yeah. Fucking devils. I'm gonna go shower. Love you, bye.
Enjoy that.
She goes upstairs.
Okay. Hearing footfalls on the stairs, the kids come rushing out of their bedroom, play fighting with like wooden swords and yelling. Jinx is throwing around harmless magic. And Squidly has a little bow with blunted arrows, and they're like play fighting. You come up the stairs, Layla, and they stop and look at you, and they're like, "Layla!" And
BBs!
Squidly's like, "Hey, you guys aren't dead."
No, we're not dead! But I smell really bad. I love you.
Okay.
Give me a hug.
He like run up and hug you. Are the others here?
Yeah, they're downstairs.
Okay.
Go downstairs and see them.
All right. So the kids come rushing down the stairs excitedly. Squidly runs up to Kelric, climbs up on his shoulders, and is like, "Mom, you're home."
See you again. Have you
Uh,
been watering the plants?
he nods. And then he shakes his head yes, but behind him you see Nat shake her head no. And then she signs to Chris like, "It's okay, I've been watering."
Oh, good girl. Also, I brought gifts for all of my children.
Oh man, presents.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, did y'all get my
Love
book?
presents. Yeah, the weird lady that's sleeping in Layla's bedroom brought us all kinds of stuff.
Oh, Ira?
They nod. She and Jinx is like, she doesn't come out of there much.
Yeah, she's probably sad or something.
Yeah, or something.
Oh, okay. I don't know what that means. But I pull out of my bag little necklaces that I made with those obsidian earth elemental teeth, and I give one to each of our children.
Oh man, these are baller.
I know, right?
Uh,
It was like a huge creature. He was like 20 feet tall. Probably
what?
how big he was.
Nat takes hers and like gives you a punch on the chest.
Yeah.
Like tink, hits you in the armor and like nods approvingly.
Yeah.
And then they're like, "Oh, we've been on so many adventures. God, you tell us about your adventures. We're gonna tell you about our adventures."
Yeah.
Yeah, there was this rat in the alley. And it was so big, and like they just start rattling off all of the probably mostly make believe things they've done while you were gone.
Good.
I yell down to Squidly. I'm like, hey, send Nat up here.
Okay. Squidly pats Nat on the shoulder to get her attention, signs for her. She shrugs and takes her necklace, pulls it over her head, and starts going upstairs.
I would like to sign to Nat. I don't know if I can. I actually, I'm just gonna go over and
touch her on the butt because you're a child molester now.
I'm not. Hold on. Okay.
And their au pair, their nanny, comes down the stairs behind them and, tells you how good they've been.
Oh, since we leveled up, can we swap our spells around?
You have to technically you have to take a rest to level up, but it's easier just to do it at the start of the session.
Okay, well, I'll do that later then.
Okay, so never mind about Nat?
No, I'm gonna give her a present.
Okay.
I have a crown of desert flowers.
Okay.
That I want to give her.
Cool. So she takes them and nods at you a little begrudgingly, but sort of puts them on her head like half askew.
And then Layla's like,
She shrugs.
gives you a hug. Okay, and then goes back to trying to get to the tub.
So you're going to your room, right?
Yeah.
This is the door to your room.
Awesome.
Okay. So when you open the door to your room, you guys know that meme? I don't know what show it's from, but the guy with the cigarette in front of the conspiracy board?
Oh yeah, isn't that from The Office?
I don't know.
Or
I've never seen The
something?
Office.
I've
I
never
watched
seen
like
it
half of an
either.
episode once and I couldn't deal with it. When you come into the room, Ira has built a giant conspiracy board on your wall.
Oh, good.
And there's all these pictures, and there's just books and notes and paper and just shit all over the room. And there's like a section of the bed that's like just big enough for her to lay on that's cleared off, and the rest of it's books and stuff. She turns around and is like, Layla, you're not dead.
I'm
So
gonna
people read it
run up and
now.
I'm gonna run up and kiss her.
Okay.
I'm
You,
not.
you share a passionate kiss.
I'm not dead.
I'm glad you're not dead.
Thank you. Me too.
Did you know that people have to sleep? Like when we were traveling together, you guys would just like go to sleep. So I would go to sleep. But I've been staying up probably too late recently, and you get tired.
Yes, you do.
Sucks.
Yeah.
Cause like, and she like pats the conspiracy board. I'm on to something.
Oh. You know, there's this drink called coffee that can
I've had a
help.
lot of that. Boris says if I don't stop coming down into his kitchen to look for it, he's gonna hit me.
Oh. Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, that meme. Exactly that meme, Uzi.
Oh god, now I gotta click on it. Click. Yes. That.
Yeah, that's like she's
Good
like
boy.
bug-eyed and crazy. She looks pallid. She's got dark circles under her eyes. She has not done her makeup.
Oh.
That's It's
Ira.
Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Ira. Your makeup's not done.
Right, but listen to this. And she's like, I got these books from Vajra. Vajra's really nice. She lets me borrow as many books as I want as long as I bring them back.
Okay, can I get
And
in
I
the
got
tub?
some of these books from the guy down the road that looks like Buster but doesn't have she follows you into the bathroom.
Yeah, I'm just gonna start during my bath because I know it's gonna take a long time for her to talk to me about this.
Yeah, and she's like, I got some of these books from the guy down the road who looks like Buster but doesn't have a tail. He's nicer than Buster. He smells good. He's teaching one of your kids magic. Also, your kids, they're great. They go get stuff when I ask them to. If I just give them money, she shrugs. I don't know what a 9-year-old needs with money. I also don't know if they're 9-year-olds. That's not the point. How old are your kids? Do you even know? I don't think they know. Anyway,
Well, they're
I
not.
found this, and like she starts rattling off all these conspiracy theories about what she thinks Asmodeus is like trying to get out of the party. And she's like, but this is the weirdest one, right? I found this old legend in this book, and she like shuffles through a bunch of papers, disappears in the other room. You hear banging and like paper shuffling around. She comes back in with this big, heavy, thick-looking book. She flips through it. She's like, it's old like legends and fairy tales, right? In this one, and she holds up a picture, like a really elaborately drawn picture of two snakes, or like more like what we would think of like Japanese dragons, in a circle biting onto each other's tail, and the top one has wings and the bottom one doesn't, and they're sort of stuck together. And she's like, this one, the bottom one with no wings, that one's called Ahriman, Ahiriman. It's right there. She points at the word. Okay, and the other one, he was called Jasirian, something like that, right? And they were like primordial beings born of like the concept of law when it was first invented in the universe, and they're trying to decide what the center of the universe should be, and they got in a fight about it, and they bit each other's tails. That's the picture. And the tails get ripped off. Well, Jasirian, when they broke apart, it created the multiverse, right? But Jasirian, when he rose, like when he broke off, he had wings, so he flew. He went up to the celestial place, wherever good people go when they die. But Ahiriman, the bad one, or the other one, I don't know, not bad, he fell because he couldn't fly. So he fell through the universe to a place called Bator. And then in this book, she runs back out of the room. She comes back in. Look. She holds up a thing that's like a picture of all the different planes and a big wheel. she's like, they broke apart and they made this big wheel, and that's the multiverse. And Beator, where he fell to the bottom layer, and she holds it up, and she's like, that's oh god, now I forget the name of the actual plane. Where devils and stuff are from. No, Avernus is the top layer of hell. No, Inferno.
I don't know. I don't know what the plane's called.
What are the planes? And
Oh boy,
hang on.
this is a lot. Ira, you're crazy. I'm just kidding.
Positive planes, negative planes, planar travel, inner planes, outer planes.
Underplanes, overplanes.
Not the abyss. That's where demons are from. Oh, it is. No, it's not the abyss. It's the nine hells. She's like, Beator, in this book, that's what they call the nine hells, right? So if this lizard guy that helped create the universe, Ironman, fell to the bottom of the nine hells, the last layer, there's only one thing at the last layer in the nine hells, Layla.
So you think he's an old dragon?
This is not a dragon. It's like a primordial being of creation. Like the idea of law.
Is that? Are you saying that's Asmodeus?
She nods. Asmodeus exists on the bottom layer of hell. Every demon in hell knows that. He's down there.
And you think that primordial dragon dude is down there too?
Not two. I think that is Asmodeus.
Okay.
I don't know.
So like, now you're saying, so before when he was the devil, a god, that could have been a thing that we could kill, but now it's like an unkillable start of the creation. That's even worse.
She shrugs. I don't know. Well, there's also like, because see, the story that most people say is the one he would want you to know. So I don't think that one's true. Most people say he was like an angel of love that came to Earth, and I don't know, bad shit happened, and he got in a war with the demons, and that's why they're still at war. But like, I don't think that's why he's at war. He could win that war if he wanted to. They're all unorganized. So why is he constantly distracting people with this war with the demons? If that's like his goal, that can't be his goal.
Well, I mean, if he's an angel of love, that might be why he's trying to talk to me.
She like slumps down on the floor in the bathroom with the book in her lap and looks up at you and goes, I have read so many books.
Oh, yes, I know. I think that the information you've gathered is very
I still don't know what
good.
the fuck he wants.
Well, if he is one of these creatures of creation, he may not have anything that we could comprehend that he wants.
But see, like the
Maybe he wants to win the
snake
argument.
being thing. Maybe.
Maybe he wants to bite that guy's ass again.
But see, he was hurt in the fight, and that's why he fell. And he went down there to recover. So maybe he's still hurt and is down there trying to recover. And he needs something from us to get better?
What's he
It could
want?
be.
There.
She shrugs.
Maybe he needs the heart of the other guy to get better. Something crazy.
Or maybe I'm just going crazy.
No, I think you're just tired because you've been thinking a lot.
Probably. It's not something I used to do much.
It's hard to do. Do you want to take a nap and, we'll hit it fresh in the morning?
That sounds like a good idea. I'm gonna go lay down.
Okay, can you clear me a spot off of
Yeah,
that?
no problem.
Thank you. You kind of got some books.
I gotta give most of these books back to Vajra anyway.
Okay. I do like this plan that you're doing. I'll tell you all the dreams that I've had where I've had encounters with them, and maybe you can piece something together. Oh! Wait, come back here. I'm still in the tub.
She comes back in there.
Kelric doesn't have his memories of me anymore. He took them.
Yeah, that sucks. That sounds right up his alley. What did he want in return? To like give him back?
Well, you see, I was kind of impatient, and I kind of ripped up the thing, and then I told the guy to leave.
She shrugs. But what did the guy? What guy?
Well, I don't know, one of those little demon fucks. Not Asmodeus, but like.
What was his name?
Oh god.
What did he look like?
He was Cambion. He looked all fancy punk rock. Whistled a lot.
She stops and thinks. Oh, let's make a roll for Ira. Did anybody write down this dude's name? Somebody's gonna start keeping track of names.
I keep track of all the ones that are important to Chris personally.
21. Oh, she rolled pretty well. It was something that started with an A.
Actioner. It was almost the same as the dragon, but not quite the same as the dragon's name. Aranox, but it was like Ara something.
Aranos?
Aranos? Maybe.
She nods. Did he wear a red hat? She nods. Sounds like him. If Asmodeus sent him up here to collect on the deal, so as it were, or to try to sign something with, was he trying to get something from Kelric or something from you?
Kelric this time.
She shrugs. It's probably not good, and he'll probably come back and try again. What's everybody else doing?
I'm going to go to my room and find a nice place to display all of my bearskin rugs.
Because you have all these bearskin rugs. Where are you?
No, she's
I'm
gonna
just
carpet her room. It's just gonna be rugs.
For ease of use, I'm just gonna turn dynamic lighting off on here. There we go. So you guys can move around as you see fit.
Hey.
That work? Everybody good now?
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. Because the door up to the house is actually at the back. There's not a set of stairs that go from the tap room up to the top of the house.
Let me see. Where is my like?
This is your room on the second floor.
Oh, the walls are still active.
Oh. Go through a window.
Oh, okay.
I can't get past
nope,
here.
Yep, there's a wall here too.
Oh.
Have you done this to us, Chase?
Shouldn't.
You've cursed.
Can't go past this spot. There's a
Huh.
line that runs like.
Yeah, you separated all the floors with a wall.
Yeah, I want to leave it set up like that just in case, fights happen in the house, but there you go. Okay.
I'm just gonna hang up all my rugs.
Chris is in her room organizing her trophies. What is Jordan doing? The kids are running around. They're regaling all of you. They're in and out of rooms. They're regaling all of you of the great deeds they've done and asking questions about the monsters you've slain and the journeys you've been on. I see your lips moving, Lucy, but I don't hear you. You're muted in Discord.
Sorry, I forgot I muted myself for privacy. Anyway, I wanted to talk to Boris, and pretty much bring up the conversation we had with Vajra. Like, hey, Boris, great news! We have a big order tomorrow. It's for one salad. It's for Vajra. we gotta make it. We gotta make it special.
Big order for one salad.
He nods. You want me to make a salad for Vajra Saphir?
Yes.
The Black Staff.
So what?
He
She said
he leans out the room and he's like, Sophia, you will mind the bar. I must go buy ingredients. And he's like, I will be back in 1 hour.
Whoosh.
And then he turns and leaves the back door of the kitchen.
And with that, I think I am going to go and take a shower and then
Go bathe.
bathe. Yeah, get the soot off of me and my clothing.
There's a bathroom right off of your bedroom, so.
If you
I
could
gotta move. Yeah, I gotta. Wah.
appreciate you. Grab my little rubber ducky that I imagine I would try to have, and
Just
Yeah,
a rubber ducky
At
with
some point,
horns.
Buster trundles through your room to go up into his like attic in the tower. He just like walks through your room to go through the hatch.
yeah, it's fine.
I mean, it's the only access to the hatch, so he goes through there. So he trundles through your room, probably mumbling under his breath, and disappears up there. What's everybody else doing? What's Kelrick doing?
Kelrick is trying to plant a fire gem underneath one of the plants without the kids noticing.
Make a sleight of hand check.
Well, he does it when they're not in the room.
Make a sleight of hand check.
Oh boy.
Oh, we have a free bedroom. A bedroom freed up.
Where?
Up here. The attic bedroom is now open and available for whoever wants it.
Oh yeah, because that guy died.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we killed him.
um,
So
Good thing too.
take a shit.
are the kids like always in there?
No, they just like run in and out randomly. It's more about timing than.
Oh,
I'm not saying it's a very high DC. I'm just want to see if one of them randomly bursts into the room to yell at you.
I'm just, you know what? I'm gonna give myself a thing on that.
Guidance? Give yourself guidance. Okay. It's okay. You can't crit fail a skill check. So a 6. Okay. Well, let's see here. An 8. Okay. So yeah, as you pull the thing out of your pocket, you're like, it's quiet. You hear them rush out into the room and run down the stairs really quickly. And you go to put the gem under there, and Squidly comes bursting back in the room. He's like, "Hey, Mom!" And he looks at you. He's like, "What you got?"
Oh, just something for safekeeping. Don't worry about it. It's fine.
What do you got?
You're not in there. There's a wall. Oh, you are there. How'd you get in there?
Anywhere. But what do you got, Kelrick? What's that?
Yeah. What you got there?
Nothing.
Shiny.
It is very shiny.
And he's like, "Hey, Jinx, Mom's got something weird and shiny. Come tell me what this does."
I want to try and take it from Kelrick
What? Why?
so I can look at it.
You know what it is already.
Do I? Do I know what it is? What is
Yeah,
it?
it's one of the fire gems that we've picked up.
Is it just like a non-magical regular gem?
Yes, it's not anything special.
Why are you trying to bury it, Kelrick?
Yeah.
Why are you burying money?
Jinx sticks his head in the
in
room and
your
goes,
garden?
"Squidly, that's not magical. You're dumb." And Squidly goes, "No, you're dumb. You're dumb. I know magic. That makes you dumber than me." "Yeah, well, I know how to beat you up." And like, Jinx turns and runs away, and Squidly takes off chasing after him.
Kelrick, why are you burying money in your room?
Chris, I told them if they wanted my plants, a fairy would leave them a gift.
Oh.
They're not gonna put 2 and 2 together, even though they've seen you doing it. You could still put it in there, and they would be like, "Ah, the fairy did it."
Yeah, but I'm gonna just change the stone just
I have
for.
a different. Yeah, I could give you like a different type of
Ah,
color
parenting.
if you want.
yeah,
Honestly, I
so-
wouldn't leave them a whole gem. I would just leave them like a copper or something.
Oh no, I mean I want to do something nice, and
you gotta
know
start
they'll
small.
split it between the 3. I have this small chunk of unidentifiable crystal I can leave. that token that I've kept since the very beginning of the fucking game.
Cool. I have more teeth.
No, I'm not leaving teeth in the flower bed.
Oh.
More
They're
wild chicken.
teeth.
Throw
Yeah.
it
No,
to
I'm
some
not.
beautiful,
Bury
like,
some chicken in there.
You could put a different gym in there if you want, Calvin.
Don't you have like bear rugs to organize or something?
I already did it. I only have 4, and I just hung them up, and they're a family. It's a family of bears.
Family.
A family of bears? Is it like
Yeah,
Big Papa Bear, Mama Bear, and the
yeah.
just
I
right
hung them
bear?
up according to size.
Do you know what's extra amusing about all of this? Is the fact that Chris had to walk all the way around to get to the bedroom.
Yeah.
I mean, there we go.
No,
I did it.
That's not nope. That's a window.
That's fine. I can walk through the window
Break
if
a
I
window.
want. I feel like
Hey,
that's my shortcut. Is that I just walk through the window.
Start locking it.
No, don't lock the window. There's another window.
What happens whenever you don't respect my privacy, Chris?
I just wanted to know what all the hubbub was about. I heard Squidly, and I just wanted to know.
Yeah, I'll leave the I'll leave a small topaz.
Sure. Okay.
Obscene amounts of money, but it's
So,
there he has or she they have their own room. There's a wall got built there.
Yeah, that's what the green line is. Sorry,
I
I
gotcha.
didn't think it was an actual wall. I thought it was just like
Nope, it's a
Ivy
wall.
wall.
divider of some sort.
Nope.
So-
Whatever they're doing all the construction on the house, I get a wall built there.
Aw.
so you guys have a day at least. It's like early afternoon, like morning, early afternoon at this point. You have a day in the city of Waterdeep. You are back home. Other than bathing, which is something that a lot of you seem to be doing right now,
Okay,
what do you guys want to do back in Waterdeep?
I need to go to the bookworm.
Sure.
And I'll invite Jinx to come along if they'd want.
Okay, sure.
Because I have these books in a language that I don't understand for the.
Ooh, I want
Right.
to come with you, actually.
All right, come on, dog.
I'm gonna give the other kids their gifts.
Okay. What'd you get each of them?
I got Squidly a shell necklace,
Okay.
and then I got something else for Jinx. Clay pipe with weed. No.
Now I look like a real wizard, just like Gandalf.
Now I smell like a real wizard.
Mhm.
So you give each of them a gift.
Yeah, I give each of them a gift. I don't know what all of it is.
You guys
oh, it's
Get
bracelet.
cleaned up. Okay. You get cleaned up. You get to have the. you drew it in with the hash marks to make it look like.
Yeah,
I'll add dynamic lighting to it while we're here.
cool.
I need to go find a bowl.
Oh. Nope, it came off the wrong layer. Go back.
And I figured
No, you destroyed
no.
my wall.
I'll fix it.
I need to find a bowl, and I need to go to the church. So I'll probably take Ira with me.
I think I'm going to go shopping for materials, and I'm going to build a new kind of shoe.
Actually, I want to talk to
Ooh, a
I want
new
to talk to
sh-
Finn.
If you build a croc, I will kill you.
So Kelric and Jinx
I do have
are
crocodile.
going.
Did
Kelric
you
and
say a
Jinx are going to the
Oh.
bookworm.
I'm coming to.
Okay, Chris and Jinx are going to the bookworm. Joyden is going shopping for materials for shoemaking materials or spellcasting materials, or both.
Both. Like, oh, need.
Okay.
Yeah, I want it. You get it.
Jordan is going looking for materials, and Layla is gonna go look for a bowl and go to the church.
Actually, I want to talk to Finn.
Okay. Well, he's downstairs. We can do that first. So you go down there. He's still sitting at the table, like talking to this woman.
Um, Finn, I have something that I need to talk to you about, and it's a little weird.
He looks at you and it's like, most of the time, when you guys come to talk to me about something,
Is it
it's a little weird.
is devil worshipping against the law?
He like looks at you and nods.
Well,
Yeah.
I have evidence that there's a cultist ring of Asmodeus in Waterdeep.
He shrugs and he's like, "You got badges." Look, I'm trying to be like semi-retired.
It's the Castle Lanters.
He shrugs and goes, "Shit. Well, how good's the evidence?"
Their son wrote me this letter that says that this, and I hand him over the letter that Osvaldo had written that his parents were cultists and blah blah blah.
He looks up at you and goes, stops and thinks for a minute and goes, Osvaldo, wasn't that their oldest kid?
Mm-hmm.
Layla? He's been dead for like 3 years.
He's been a chain demon for 3 years.
He shrugs. I hate to say it, but if you want to prove the Castellanters are worshipping devils, you're gonna need more than this. I mean, they have a lot of money and lawyers that are gonna talk circles around this.
Mm-hmm. Well, allegedly they have a secret site where they worship in their house in the basement. So I guess maybe I'll find that.
He shrugs. Yeah, go find that. Like I said, you got badges.
Hmm. All right. Good information to know. That their son's been dead for 3 years.
I mean, supposedly. I don't really. He like pats the broadsheet, the newspaper next to him. I don't really read the gossip column that much, but I remember it happening. It's a big deal. They had a funeral.
Where was he buried?
Same place everybody's buried.
And they have a
The
crypt there?
graveyard.
They have a family crypt.
Ooh.
So would my badge get me access to this family crypt?
He goes, if you want a warrant to search it, you're gonna need more than this.
Hmm.
You can't prove this was written by him.
Okay.
Like, it's a piece of evidence, but it's not something. Like, if I were trying to make an arrest, this is not something I would take to court. And the woman next to him, like in Celestial, goes, "That's why I don't bother with courts."
Layla just smiles and she's like
Finn just looks confused.
gives her a wink. And then I think I'm gonna say in Celestial, I like you.
It's a little
Oh, boy.
masturbatory, don't you think?
A little bit. Alright, that's it.
Okay.
And then yeah, I'll go find a bowl or whatever.
So Joyden, where do you want to go? Pie? Where do you want to go buy spellcasting components? There's a few places. There's a couple potion shops you've been to. Let me put you guys on the city map.
Oh,
Sweet.
my masterpiece.
There's also Troll Skull Alley. I don't seem to have the map for that out right now. Oh god, I have so many archived things. Troll Skull Alley. So, whoop. There's a few places you could go right here in Troll Skull Alley. There's the Corellian's Crown, which is right behind your house. If you needed any plants or alchemical supplies, you could always go there. There's also just down the street the Bookworm, um, with where Rashal, uh, Rashal the Page Turner, as he's known. His shop, he sells a few things like that. If you wanted something more specific, you may have to go someplace like Weird Bottles or one of the larger like magic shops in the city.
You cut out my end. So what was the last thing you said after Rashal the page turner?
You could, if you needed something specific or more expensive, you just need basic spellcasting supplies that don't have a gold piece cost above like 25 gold pieces. You could probably get that at right here in Troll Skull Alley. You go to Carilion's Crown. You could go to the Bookworm. If you needed something like more expensive or exotic, you might have to go someplace like Weird Bottles, like a dedicated magic shop.
Gotcha. I think what I'm trying to do is relatively simple
Okay.
spell wise. So I'll stick to indoors.
Okay. Right here in Troll Skull Alley. So were you
Yeah,
gonna go to the Carilion's Crown, or are you gonna go to um
the bookworm.
the Bookworm? Okay. Well,
Yeah.
as it happens, Keller, Chris, and Jinx are headed to the Bookworm anyway. So the group of you head out of the northern entrance to uh, your house, out into the streets. The hustle and bustle of the city hits you. The coolness of a fall day, as summer seems to have finally abated and it is starting to get cool out. And it is more pleasant. People are bundled up in warmer clothes, and um, carts and things are going up and down the street. It's a busy sort of happening day in the city of Waterdeep. And you guys head over to the Bookworm. The sign still hangs above the door of a great dragon curled up on a hoard of books. And when you open the door, it is empty, but you can see after a few seconds, Rashal's head pops up above one of the stacks of books, as there are just books everywhere, stacks and stacks, and it's disorganized and teetering like a maze in here. And he worms his way through and looks over the group of you and goes, "Oh yes,
Sorry.
well, it's been a while. It's been a while. It's good to see the lot of you back. What can I do for you, young Jinx? I have homework for you, actually. Give me a moment." He disappears back behind a group of books again. And then after a few moments, he comes back and he hands Jinx like a rolled up piece of paper. And he's like, "Now, when you solve this, come back to me for more." And Jinx is like, "Ah, man, I knew I should have just stayed at home."
I brought some things for you to look at if you'd be interested.
He shrugs.
To the bookworm dealer. So he Coward picks all of the books in languages he couldn't read in the gown.
He looks at them and he goes, "These are written in a language that no one really speaks or reads anymore. These are in Old Netherese."
Threes.
He nods.
Exactly.
Yes, Netherese, the language spoken during the time of the Netheril Empire. It's an old language. It's dead. I can translate them, but it'll take time because I have to use a spell to do it, and it would take coin because I have to use a spell to do it.
No,
You can see Jinx has like wandered over to the little table, the one table that's always clear with tea on it, and has unfurled this piece of paper that he gave him, pulled a quill out, and is sitting there like doing a puzzle on it.
I was also curious, do you have any books on ancient artifacts?
I have many books on ancient artifacts. Could you be more specific?
Yeah, apparently there's an artifact out there that's old enough and powerful enough to affect dragons?
Well, I mean, a magic sword will affect a dragon if you hit it with it. I'm not understanding what you mean.
Like all of them at once.
Elric is talking about the dragon rage.
He nods. Do you think there's a magic item specifically that is causing this? He
Maybe.
stops and like taps his nail on his chin, which makes like a clink clink sound up against the scales, and he goes, perhaps something like a mythal.
Yeah, something like that.
He
Someone
nods.
said that word to us before.
It's possible. To be honest, I think you'd have to go to the library for that. Mythals are not something that's particularly interesting to me. I could
You only
probably
keep
get a
books
book
on
on that.
things that are interesting to you.
He nods, and then like you look around the 3-story, like there are thousands of books in this building, but like apparently that subject doesn't interest him.
Yeah, if it be possible for you to get a hold of the book, I'll also check the library.
He nods. I'll reach out to my sources, and then like behind you, there's like a sound, and then above Jinx's head, a scroll appears, like just bamps out and drops in front of him, and Jinx holds up the other piece of paper, and he's like, "Done." And you see, Rashal looks over and goes, "I knew I should have made that harder. I'll make you another one tomorrow." And Jinx nods, and then takes the scroll that appeared and like tucks it into his robe.
Kelric,
And he's like, "I'll copy this one down tonight."
you hear a voice in your head, Kelric. It's me, Kelric.
Meow.
Are you at the bookstore? I bet
Yeah.
you're at the bookstore. Bring me a smut book.
So Chris just sees like Kelric pause and then makes like the huh face.
What's up,
Like the
Kelric?
fuck? Layla just asked me to get her a smut book?
That
What's
sounds like
smut?
Layla.
A real page turner
I mean, all books are page turners.
with sex. And then you hear giggling, and then like that's all you hear.
What have you been drinking today? Do you have any books on smut?
Books on the subject of smut, or books that contain smut?
Probably the former.
He nods. I'll be right back. And he brings you 3 or 4 like basically Harlequin romance books. Like just probably there's probably ones about adventurers. There's definitely one called Tusk Love that's about like a half-orc farmhand and like the daughter of a prominent farmer that fall in love and run away together. But he has like 4 or 5 of them, and he holds them out to you. I have these. I would be willing to part with any of them for a modest price of 5 gold.
Wow.
Okay, eeny,
That must be
meeny, miny,
a
moe,
smut.
catch a tiger. That one and that one.
Hands you a couple of dirty novels.
I pay the men, and how much do you charge for translations?
I gotta look. uh, Where is the stuff about Troll Skull Alley? It's been so long since we've been here. Because I know that there's like a breakdown of how much spellcasting services to cost. It's in the player's handbook too. These are just rules on casting spells. He's gonna have to cast the spell that will let him read any language.
Comprehend languages?
Yeah.
I think that's level
That's level
2 or
1
3.
wizard.
Oh,
So
the
the
one?
one, so it's a level
Yeah.
1 spell. So that would be 50 gourd. It takes him. It lasts an hour. Probably take him 6 hours to translate them all. So 300 gold pieces to translate the books.
All of them or just one?
All of them.
Yeah, okay.
He nods and he holds them out to you and he goes, "Can I keep the books and just give you the translations?" 250 gold pieces, and I can keep the books and give you the translations.
Yeah, okay.
He nods and takes the books like all hungrily, and he's like, "Come back tomorrow." And he disappears into the book stacks.
Oh,
Like,
but I had
And he
a
he shouts from the books, "And bring Jinx!"
But I wanted a thing from him.
Oh, what did you want? I'm sorry.
Chris is here too.
He also, like, Jordan will sell you any like basic spell casting components you need. He'll kind of have them laying around.
I'll list out what I need.
Okay.
I feel like, well, I always forget that we can also go to the library. I always forget that his shop isn't actually a library. But I pull
It's a
out,
bookstore.
I pull out the amulet that we got from the spooky haunted house with all the eyeballs floating in the fluid looking thing. Like the, what's it called? Religious eyeball necklace is what I wrote down.
Where did it come from?
It came from the haunted house. The
Oh, okay, yeah.
Oblate.
Sure.
And I want to ask him if he knows if there are any books about this.
He looks at it sort of oddly and turns his head from side to side. And then shakes his head. Unfortunately, I don't know what that is.
Oh, well, it's some sort of religious thing.
He shrugs. "Well, I would ask a cleric then instead of a wizard."
Oh, okay. Well, let's leave.
He runs
It's like-
back out of the scatter books with his fucking
I mean, yeah, he just got away with a steal. Like,
How much are those components gonna cost me?
Is there a gold piece cost listed on the spell? Does it say like worth this much?
No, just
Okay, it's just specific items.
Yeah.
He'll be like he'll just say, "For the furthering of your knowledge, you can just have them."
my thanks. I will gift you the first pair of shoes I make. I recommend you use it in front of somebody in case something
He look-
tragic happens.
He looks down at his bare feet, which are like clawed because he's a dragonborn, and he goes, "Shh, yeah, you can't make them like normal shoes if you're making them for me."
I will alter them accordingly for your
He nods.
I
claw
feel like
fees.
Jordan just like opens a shoe shop for like every race except for the ones that you can buy anywhere.
Yeah, he goes, "Well, you scratch my back and wait, yeah, I'll scratch your back and you scratch mine. Yes, that's it."
Yeah, absolutely. Or like your feet, but still, whatever you're into.
I
Scratch your feet, you scratch.
I could use my feet to scratch your back. They have nails on them.
Sexy.
So do mine.
It's like you don't.
Mine are supposed to have claws, though.
Eh. I mean, mine are too, aren't they?
I hope that Jordan makes Chris a pair of shoes that have little claws on them.
Little dragon, like the giant oversized slippers. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And they make little dragon roars when you walk.
Oh, that is
That
Yeah.
wouldn't do so good on your stealth though.
No, the pairs I make for Chris will have no soul, so she'll be able to keep walking. But it'll definitely have like the extended claws, so it just pat
Sure.
pat.
Good.
So you guys head back out of the bookworm into the street again, into the hustle and bustle of the city. You can see Vincent Trench, the guy who owns the store the place that you don't know really what is. It's just got a sign above the door with a big eye on it. Sort of standing on his front porch or front steps again, like watching people go up and down the street. He's still wearing like his long, like heavy trench coat, and he even flips the collar up and like mumbles something to himself, and then walks off into the crowd and begins walking down the street.
Cool.
Who did what now?
I mean, that's not suspicious, right? It's fine.
Vincent
leave.
Trench. He owns the store or shop or whatever it is, the place with no name that nobody ever comes and goes out of but him.
Isn't is he a private eye?
I don't. He is, yeah. Basically, he's a private investigator.
Yeah, because he used to hire the kids.
Yeah, he used to pay the kids to like watch people for him.
Uh,
Layla, you're gonna go buy a fancy bowl. That's easy enough.
Yeah.
You could go to the Steam and Steel and have like it commissioned. Or you could just go buy a bowl.
I'm
Can
just
I try
gonna
to
buy one.
I want to track Vincent. Just watch where he goes.
Are you trying to do this without him noticing you?
Yeah.
Okay, make a perception check and a stealth check.
My perception and stealth. That's like hand. This is stealth.
Okay,
That
jeez.
many.
I don't think he's gonna see you. No.
Better not.
Mhm.
Oh wait, that's Tally. That's the wrong person. Troll Skull Manor, Fala, Vincent Drench. There he is. Yeah, no problem. He like almost like half-heartedly, like aimlessly wanders the street for a while. You see, he looks over his shoulder quite a bit. And then eventually he like parks himself on a bench across the street from a house and opens up a broadsheet and like puts a pipe in his mouth and is just sort of sitting on this bench for a long time. But with your perception check, you can tell he's like actually looking over the top of the newspaper at the house. So he's like watching this house.
Gotcha.
And then like, how long do you want to sit there and watch him?
An hour. I'm gonna cast Spider
Okay.
Climb on myself and
I'm like disappear up an alley, climb up on a roof. And he sits there, smokes his pipe, watches this house. At about half an hour, a carriage pulls up, and a girl gets out, like a young-ish girl, like maybe in her like early 20s. Gets out of the carriage, gets helped down by the carriage driver, and then goes into the house. And you see he like folds up the newspaper, tucks it under his arm, and then starts walking around the side of the house.
the house is across the street, and that's the one he's walking across.
Yeah, so he crosses the street and goes around the corner of the house, like the side of the house. You can keep following him if you want to.
Yeah, I'll keep following. I'm just trying to make sure that I could climb on that one too to
Okay.
keep
Yeah,
an eye
you could easily dart between rooftop to rooftop, and he doesn't see you. He does like look around the room or around for a bit at the side of this house, and then you see him wave his hand in front of himself, and his visage changes from a man to what looks like a scullery maid, if you know what that is. Like
someone that handles
house servant.
chamber pots.
Yeah,
Oh,
like a house
yeah.
servant, very meek looking with like a bonnet pulled heavily over her face so that she's hard to see, and then he goes into the house.
Okay.
Opens the
Fuck.
door and walks in.
Fuck. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and follow him then.
Okay. Make another stealth check for me.
So that was less than a 10. So that's
A 23.
23. Yeah.
He goes into the house. You wait a few heartbeats and go in behind him. You see, he goes into the kitchen and starts like scrubbing. Like somebody else walks in, and you have to quickly dart back around the corner of the door with the door cracked and sort of watch through the crack of the door. And he turns really quickly and begins scrubbing a pot. And like a big heavy-set cook comes grumbling through, swings the door open and leaves the kitchen, but like walks right past you without seeing you because you're just very still and quiet. And then he now looks like a woman, watches the door for a moment and then turns and goes further into the house. You slide in behind him. And you can see like it's this like sort of cartoony thing where he's like sneaking along and you're like slowly sneaking behind him, and the two of you make your way through a fairly well appointed house, through a couple of sitting chambers, up a heavy set of wooden stairs, to the edge of a door, and the door is slightly cracked open, a bedroom door, and you can hear giggling and like the young girl that came in the house probably giggling and laughing, and he sort of just peeks into the door slowly.
Gotcha.
And he just stands there for a moment looking into the door, makes like a sighing noise, nods, and then steps back away from the door and begins to if you want to follow him, he's going to turn around and leave the house. If you're going to go peek in the door behind him, you can.
I want to peek into the door too, just to see what he.
Okay.
looked
It's
at.
the young girl and a much older man going at it, or getting ready to go at it. Clothes are being taken off.
I've seen. I got the gist of it. I want to follow back at it.
And as you're coming back out of the house with your perception check, you do notice that there are paintings on the wall of this man with a woman that looks about the same age as him.
Well, I'm sure that's none of my business yet.
Yeah, so
Oh.
he Vincent slips back out of the house, flips his appearance back to the dude in the trench coat, pulls a little notebook out of his pocket, writes something in it, claps it shut, and then starts heading back down the street.
The guy is doing business. You know, can't. I don't know if it's so much blackmail or if he's getting paid for it. So I'm gonna just keep that knowledge to myself for now. You know,
Sure.
the guy that clearly has enough money to, you know, do what it is that he's doing.
Jordan, for the rest of you guys, Jordan just vanishes and is gone for like 2 hours.
I feel like that's normal though. At this point.
Layla goes and buys a very expensive bowl. Is there anything else you guys want to do in the city, or is everybody headed back to the house at this point?
Oh, were we not gonna go to the library?
Yes, we were.
Yeah.
All right. You guys gonna
I'll
take
come with
Jinx
you.
along, or are you gonna leave Jinx behind?
If Jinx would like to come.
Nah, I think he'd rather just go home. He's got to copy a new spell scroll into his book, so.
What spell was that?
I don't know, I haven't opened it yet.
Oh,
He
wait.
opens it up and he goes, "Oh man, it's just acid splash.
Aw.
I thought he was gonna teach me to throw lightning this week."
I mean, acid is pretty cool. You can melt stuff with that, you know.
Melt your face.
I mean, you could.
I
Yes.
wouldn't do that. It's just a joke. God.
You could
I'm
always
not
talk
saying that
with.
you would. I'm just saying that you could.
You can always talk with Buster for the applications.
He shrugs. I tried to get Buster to teach me magic. It wouldn't teach me magic.
Well,
Rashal keeps telling me.
I meant about acid specifically.
He shrugs. I don't know. Buster smells weird.
he does.
And he
Though
shrugs.
less
He goes,
weird now. He smells
I guess.
better.
But Rashal keeps telling me that I have to learn the basics before I can learn anything more dramatic.
I mean, it's
At least
true.
I can. At least this one I can melt stuff with. Everything else he taught me how to do just makes like sparkles and stuff.
I mean, melting stuff is pretty fun. You can just go find like a rock and melt it. Or
All right, well,
like a
I'm gonna
different
go learn how to
rock.
cast this and go melt some rocks.
that. Yeah.
He starts trundling back to the house.
See you later, Jinx.
All right, see you, Squidly's mom.
Is that his way of saying I'm not his real mom?
You're only Squidly's mom.
So you guys want to head to the library and look for a book?
Yeah.
Okay, on mythals.
Yeah.
Okay.
I also want to see if I can find anything about this amulet I have.
Sure. With the use of the library, I will let you make your checks with advantage. You head to the library where you guys have been before. It is a big, sturdy stone building that looks sort of like a church in its own right, several tiers tall. There is always a attendee or somebody at a big front desk, usually a student, like a college student. The library you guys visit because you are well connected with Vajra is the library at the College of Mages. So you guys are let in. You're given directions to the sections that you need. So I guess Kelric, you can make a history or arcana check with advantage, and Chris, you can make a religion check with advantage.
Yes, my best thing. The thing that I'm very good
Okay.
at. Oh, yeah, a whole 8.
Oh my God.
15.
An 8. You don't find anything that you find a few gods whose holy symbol is an eye, but not anything that resembles this, Chris.
Oh.
Kelric, you can only really find the most basic, like broad information about mythals after a few hours of searching. Um, a mythal is basically it's old magic. It was a way that elves used to enchant things if they needed to do something big. Um, Basically, lots and lots of elven high mages would get together and create a magical item that had some sort of specific effect. Like the one that is famous and the only one that you can really find any information about is the one in Silvery Moon, which is a mythal that prevents evil dragons from entering the forest of Silvery Moon. They can't come into it, and that's the most similar to your effect. But it's not something that's been done in hundreds of years. People don't really know how they're made anymore. That knowledge of the crafting of mythals has been lost. But it was Buku's big time magic, and it was done by elves.
Okay. On the way home, I'd like to stop by the plant house thing.
The Corellian's crown.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, you find the shopkeeper Fala, as she's sort of tending the flowers that are growing toward the entrance. She's got a little uh, uh, pair of clippers, like hedge clippers, and she's clipping off leaves in a very deliberate pattern. She looks up at the group and goes, "Oh well, I haven't seen you in a dog's age. How have all of you been? It's very pleasant to see you again. Come to buy potions."
Actually, plants.
She nods. Well, plants I sell as well.
Do you have any saplings?
Saplings. I have a few ficus, smaller ones. Did you need a specific tree? Something big, something small, something that smells nice, something that grows fruits or flowers.
I was thinking something that you've seen the severed head, right?
She nods. Oh yes.
I was thinking
The
something to
chef
go
that
in
you
the front.
hired, Boris, does a lovely chopped salad, by the way.
Thank you. But
And the fizzy
I'll
drinks are neat.
I'll let him know you said such. So I was looking for a tree that might go well in front of there.
In front.
Yeah.
It would have to be something that's in a pot because everything in the city's paved. Something that could hold up through. Would you want to bring it in during the winter months, or would you prefer it just stay outside?
Well,
Stay
we have
outside.
space on our balcony. Or
It would still need to be in a pot.
well, no, but I got it. I got it turned into a bed, a flower bed. I think.
Oh,
Pretty
it's,
sure.
Yeah, we paid for that weirdness to happen.
Yeah.
a small maple might be okay. If you wanted something edible, a fig tree. Any kind of conifer always looks nice framing either side of a door if you wanted a pair of them. Some with a small evergreen.
um,
And those are easy to take care of, don't need to be brought in during the winter, and they don't lose their leaves and things.
uh, are we allowed to move the concrete, or is that ordinance to stay
She
put?
shakes her head. You can't tear up the streets, no.
Well, I didn't mean stir it up. I just meant like to make a hole.
That yes, that's what she meant. Kelric.
Friend. Very sad. But or like since part of it's, I guess. I'm sorry. My brain's thinking of like today's version of a house or a place that has like a yard.
There's no yard.
So, but I need to think like
They're more
18th
like
century Europe
they're more like
cobblestone nonsense.
townhouses. Yeah, everything's paved with paver stones, and the houses are all butted right up against each other.
Mm.
And there are trees planted on some of the streets and things in the nicer neighborhoods, but for the most part, everything's paved.
So
It's easier to clean.
I couldn't like do the same thing that they're doing in the nicer neighborhoods where they plant a tree in the front.
You'd probably have to take it up with the city. I
Like
would think.
destruction of public property.
No, I'm asking like I'm asking if like
I mean,
how
you
they.
could, but you would have to get like permission somehow.
Oh yeah, no, definitely.
There's, you probably would have to pay somebody. Like palms would have to be greased because that's how things work in the city.
I have that spell. Not kidding.
Grease palm. Unfortunately, it costs me a variable amount of money every time I cast it.
No, I just like the idea that you cast grease and you're like done.
It's like, all right, let's get those permits. Grease.
Okay, I'll get a couple of potted plants to put outside the front door.
At least
Okay.
for now, until we
Uh,
destroy the city and put plants everywhere.
We'll call it 15 silver pieces.
Cool. Oh, could I also get a pot to? I have some strawberries and I would like to plant them.
Yeah, you can get like a terracotta pot for probably like 5 copper.
Okay. Yeah, I'll do. How about I give you 1 gold for everything? 2 gold. 2 gold. Brain. It's 10 silver. gold.
Well, gold one. It would be 16. Yeah, sure, 2 gold. That works.
Cool. Because I don't have it.
You're overpaying, but that's fine.
I know. I'm my character sheet does not have any small denominations.
You didn't ask for change, Kelric.
Nah.
You're like, keep the change.
It's like, all right. Or oh. I would also like a small potted flower of some kind for Ira.
Sure, easy enough. We can just roll that into the 2 gold pieces.
Cool. All right. That is all I needed.
Anything else for you today? Potions, tinctures,
Do you
something to get your blood up, or something to help you calm down?
do you do health potions?
Yeah, she sells them to you guys at a discount.
Okay.
Oh.
I'll buy a couple of. Does
Yep.
she only do lesser healing, or does she also do greater healing?
I have to look and see what she has on hand. She can do greater healing potions, but she typically only keeps. blah blah blah. Herbal remedy, sells potions of these types. She can do just the potion of healing.
Okay, I'll buy 2 of those.
Okay, she sells them to you for 40 gold apiece instead of
Cool.
50.
Yay.
She also makes potions of animal friendship, potions of climbing. Oh, she could do a potion of greater healing. I lied.
Okay.
Potions of water breathing.
So,
How much is the greater healing?
I will have to look and see how much they cost because we never buy them.
not there, but I would like to get some potion too.
She has 1 potion of greater healing and 2 potions of healing.
Oh. She's gonna be out of potions by the time she gets to you, Jordan.
She can make more tomorrow.
Okay,
Okay.
I will buy that stock.
Potion of greater healing she will sell to you for 125 gold pieces.
Okay.
They are normally 150.
Okay. Cool. Then head back to house.
So eventually, after some potion purchasing and wandering around and sort of getting caught up on things, you guys unite back up at the at the severed head. And what do you guys want to do now? Everybody sort of mills about the house, sort of groups back up.
Can I go to the church? I feel like that's
Oh, I forgot.
the
I'm
next
sorry, yes.
thing.
You want
that
to
I
go to
need
the Church
do.
of Soon?
Yeah.
What was the name of the Church of Soon?
The church is soon.
No, there's a name for it.
Beauty? Something?
It's on my map of Waterdeep. Help me find it.
Temple of Beauty?
It might just be the Temple of Beauty.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's just the Temple of Beauty.
And I think Ira's probably gonna come with me.
Sure. So you drag Ira away from her books after she has a brief nap and tries to go back at it again. And you're like, no, we're gonna go visit the temple. You head back to the Temple of Beauty, this huge building with ornate stained glass. The inside of it, the first floor, looks like an art gallery or a museum. There's just tiers and of tables and paintings and anything that's finely crafted and well made and ornate or pretty is just sort of all over the place, all organized by type, but it's spread around in this huge structure. You head into the Temple of Beauty. One of the acolytes comes up and greets you with a smile. You can see a few of the hulking paladins set up in the corners or like the guards. A few people worshiping, a few people that seem to be just visitors, like probably not even worshippers or soon, just wandering around the place looking at all the artwork. The acolyte, she comes up to you, her little blonde ponytail bobbing and swishing as she walks in her very ornate gilded robe. Smiles at you and nods and asks how she can help you.
I would like to make a donation to the church.
She nods. Oh, of course. Layla, what would you like to donate? Something physical, a donation of an item, or monetarily, or
I think she would give the red rose that never wilts.
okay. You hold it out to her, and she says,
Um,
what's the head, like the head of your religion called again? They have a name.
the heart guard, heart warders, heart warders.
That's the paladins.
The
like,
paladins.
I forget the
Hold on.
name of like the religious the person in charge.
Hold please.
The Charlton? No.
The Sisters and Brothers of the Ruby Rose.
That's a knightly order.
Knightly order.
We looked this up at some point. I don't remember. It's okay. She says
The High
she'll
Priestess is known as a heart warder.
the heart order. Okay, I got it backwards then. She says, this is a great gift, Layla. We should take it to the Heart Order. And that's the person who gave you the sword, Fidelius.
Yeah. Yeah, so I guess.
She motions for you to follow her.
Follow.
Yep. So she takes you back to the familiar office of the Heart Order. You can see the whole time that Ira like just looks a little uncomfortable. Things are just a little awkward for her here, and like Ira hasn't been doing her prayers apparently because it doesn't look like she's been taking care of herself. Um, like Boris is probably trying to force her to eat and sleep, and it hasn't been working. But she leads you back to the Heart Order's office, the big giant stained glass doors that let in strange, dappled, sort of ethereal light behind the heavy oaken desk. The Heart Order is androgynous, like the way they dress, the way they move, the way they speak, the way they look. It makes it impossible to identify a gender for them, to assign a gender. But regardless of the gender, whether it's a man or a woman, they're ethereally beautiful, like strangely enchantingly attractive, so much that they're sort of hard to look at, and it's difficult for your brain to parse this person you're interacting with. uh, they look over at you and say, "Oh, hello, Layla. It's good to see you've returned. I've heard that you've been putting Fidelius there to good use. It seems."
Yes, Fidelius has proven a good companion for me.
They
Um,
nod.
I have been having some trouble as of late, and
They look. They look past you. I keep saying he because I'm a dude and that's the way
yeah.
my brain works. But it's a they them. That would be their pronouns. So they they look past you and say, "Oh, I'm sorry to hear you're having trouble." And they sort of look at um, Ira, who's standing behind you meekly, and they go, "You've never brought one of your friends with you before. Is this one of your adventurers?" The
This is Ira the
story of a girl.
Redeemed.
Adventure together, all right.
Is that what they're calling it now?
They nod and they say, "The redeemed," you say.
Ira the Redeemed.
And dear Ira, what did you need to be redeemed from? And she sort of looks down at the floor and does that thing where she's like just moving her toe back and forth on the floor awkwardly.
You needn't be
And
afraid.
they look back at you.
She was a she was a succubus at one point in time.
They nod.
And she has sacrificed herself to bring me back. I also died. And was brought back by a genie that I agreed to set free.
They nod.
Very
Oh.
long story.
Well, Layla, I do enjoy a good story. A well-crafted story is a beautiful thing. Sit and have a glass of brandy with me. Let's talk about it.
Okay. Can we gloss over
Delicious.
talking about that part?
Yes, we'll gloss
Awesome.
over it, but you fill them in.
Yeah.
When you get to the part where does Layla know how Ira killed herself?
Yes, because Layla took the sword out of her.
Yeah. So when you get to the part where she killed herself with Fidelius, you can see their eyes widen a bit and they cock their head to the side and they look at Ira and they go, "You were a succubus at the time," and Ira nods. "But you picked up the sword," and Ira nods. And then they sort of lean back in their heavy chair. And they take a deep breath and they go, "Well, that is something different. Miss Ira, would you like to visit me again in the future? Perhaps we could talk about how you feel about things and, well, I could help ease your new transition into a different life." And Ira sort of looks at Layla.
Can I insight check? I want to make sure that this is like a nice thing that's happening and not like she's trying to kill my friend. She, he, whichever. They.
They are, like I said, they are sort of strange to interact with because of the way they look. Because it's like you don't care if it's a man or a woman; you just want to have sex with them. So, and they use that in like a very purposeful way to like put people off and make them uncomfortable. Like it's an on purpose thing, but there's no malice here. Like it seems like they're trying to do. The story you just told was fascinating to them, and they're trying to do something good.
Yeah, Ira, I think that this could be a very good introduction to the church now that you're going to be here more often.
Well, she looks at them for the heart order for the first time and says, "Layla has been trying to teach me about Soon, and I am curious to learn, and this seems like the place to do that." And the heart order slaps the desk and goes, "Well, it's settled then. You will come, and I tell you what, tomorrow we'll go meet in the hero's garden and just go for a walk." And Ira nods. Around noon, Ira nods. I'll pack a picnic.
I also have, well, I originally came to you because I have a problem.
Oh, I'm sorry. The story of a. Well,
Redeemed.
see, like, not just redeemed. It was a. I don't mean any offense, but you were a devil, Ira, who rose up and picked up the most sacred, or one of the most sacred artifacts of our religion, and I got distracted. What did you need help with, dear?
And then Layla just kind of closed her eyes and she just like poofs out these gross wings and she's like, "This happened to me and I wanted to go away."
I sort of look at you from side to side. When did this happen?
Well, I've been having Asmodeus come to me in dreams and I don't like it. And he wants something from me.
But the wings you've always had. They were just different.
A light, usually.
They nod and goes, "Well, Layla, it sounds like you've been going through a lot of things. And perhaps the wings that you shed are a reflection of the way you feel inside. When you felt light and happy, the wings reflected that. And then after you died, you felt dark and strange and alone. And perhaps now the wings affect that or reflect that. Give it time. Try to do something that just feels nice.
Okay. Oh!
And remember, beauty is not just what's on the outside. We did a whole lesson about this.
Yeah, I remember. She just looks a little embarrassed. And then she gives the rose as a donation for the museum church part.
And it never wilts, you say.
Yes, it never wilts.
I will make sure it is displayed prominently.
Can you put
A little plaque.
a little plaque under it with mine and Ira's name on it?
They nod. Of course, dear.
Ira the Redeemed, of course. That's her name, you know. Layla the Fair. Okay.
They nod. Of course, dear. Ira the Redeemed and Layla the Fair. Your name first, I take it.
She looks over at Ira and she's like,
Ira shrugs.
Ira does come before Layla in the alphabet, so Ira first.
They nod. See, you are learning. Well, eventually you finish your brandy. You head back to the house. Everybody, sort of like I said, groups back up at the house, which begs the question. Ira is quiet a lot after that. She's okay. Like if you ask, she's just quiet. Eventually, though, everybody groups back up at the house, and you guys are free to plan your next steps. Discuss what you've learned.
I'll go first because I pretty much ducked out real early. So I followed this Vincent Trench person, and apparently he's on a mission to blackmail and or work for somebody that has tabs on a nobleman / very important person. So I don't know if that means anything, but it seems like a good line of work. Maybe I could just get more work from him, help him out because he didn't notice me. So
He didn't notice me, senpai.
what else did y'all do whenever?
He went and watched some people bone. It was kind of weird. Anyway, what were you guys up to?
Yeah, Layla, you might have liked that, but
I would like to hear all the details, please. What all did you see?
it's like the guy, he was breathing heavy, but he was into it. The girl, she was kind of like like hot and ready, and just like, yeah, daddy, show me what you work. That type of thing. It was,
Oh, he was older.
Oh,
Yeah,
Layla,
he
Kelric got you some smut books.
Kelric, you got the books! What books did you get me, Kelric? Did you hand pick them out?
I mean, he gave me 5 options and I picked 2.
Did you really pick 2, or did you eeny, meeny, miny, moe it? Because I know you. Mm-hmm.
Definitely the latter.
They weren't curated.
I didn't have that kind of time.
can you read it before you buy it? It seems illegal.
You're probably
They
right.
all have little blurbs on the back of the book.
True.
Missed
Missed opportunity, Kelric.
I'll hand over the 2 random books that I picked.
Woohoo! Thank you.
Like I said, like Harlequin romance books. There's probably like 800 pages or less in each one, and at least 6 or 7 sex scenes.
Really smutty. Oh man.
And then I'll hand. I also picked
Only
this up for
6
you,
or
Ira,
7.
and hands her the potted plant.
She sort of looks at it oddly and goes, "Oh, thanks, Kellerick. That was really sweet of you.
I hope you like it. Just
I love
remember
it.
to water
Smells
it
nice.
every other day or so.
Water it, right? Because things need stuff to live.
You might also be able to ask the kids to do it.
Like I said, if you give them money, they will do things for you. I didn't leave the house for like a week.
That doesn't sound very healthy. Natural sunlight.
Shrugs.
Yeah, she's turning quite pale.
Or are you like actually human or like half something, like half elf or
Shrugs. I don't know. I mean, I was a devil. I was a succubus. I was a fiend from hell.
right? But you eat now and you
She
need
nods.
to sleep, so it's like,
Well, elves don't sleep, so I'm not an
Okay.
elf.
cool.
That's true.
And you're pale, so you're definitely not well, I guess a dark elf. But we already established you're not an elf, so
And I don't have horns. Her skin like yours, so I'm not a tiefling, and I don't have fur, so I'm not a furball
Fortunately.
like Kelric, and I don't have any scales, so I'm not a dragon like Chris.
Mm-hmm.
Can I
And you don't have a
smell?
tail.
Let me see. Does she smell like an angel?
She smells mostly like your room, probably.
She smells like an angel, guys. I think she's an angel.
Does she have wings? Where's your wings?
Where's your wings?
Shakes her head. What? I can't change myself anymore. I seem stuck like this.
Saying is you're a fallen angel.
She
Layla, do
shrugs.
you have wings?
Some people think that succubus are fallen angels. That's where they come from, but I don't know.
Kelric, I do not have wings.
Make an insight check, Kelric. Not on Layla. Yeah, it's not for you, Layla.
Oh, okay.
Okay, 16. Yeah, when she says, I do not have wings, you can see Ira gives her this look like, what the fuck?
He doesn't remember me.
You just say that out loud.
What? No. I don't have wings. I don't know what you're talking about. Never had wings. Don't know what I would ever do with a set of wings. Definitely didn't use them to carry Jordan up a building once. You were climbing a ladder, so you definitely didn't see wings. Because I was climbing a ladder and holding Jordan.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Yep. That's the thing. Anyway.
And Ira's
Yeah.
like, good talk. Also, Layla, when Kelric gives you these books, like, these are some good smut books. Like, you've heard of these titles
Ooh.
before. Like, Rochelle must be a connoisseur.
Oh, Kelric, you did such a good job. She gives you like this little hug and she's like, thank you.
Welcome. I hope you find great enjoyment with them.
Then you hear a whisper, feel great enjoyment with you later.
And Ira goes, right.
Kelric does not
So,
immediately run away.
anyway, Asmodeus stole Kelric's memories, so there's
Mhm.
that whole thing is still going on. And also, there's still pissed off dragons everywhere.
That
Yeah.
somehow have not gotten in the city.
But there's like the ward, which is why you guys wanted the staff.
Yeah, but
Well, the
wait.
dragon staff just lets you give permission to a dragon to enter the city.
Okay, thank you.
But there are
I was about to-
dragons in the city that you can like remove that permission from if they start to go crazy.
Okay.
but
Yeah.
the dragons that are in the city we have tagged as or held down,
Mm-hmm.
like Zal.
Magically.
Vajra's been dealing with it
Yeah.
as best
Like,
as she could.
no, I didn't ask this when Vajra brought it up, but she mentioned that she had dealt with a couple of dragons that have tried to enter the city. So I didn't know if that was because of the dragon ward or if that was because she
You're not the only group of like adventurers that she has at her disposal. You guys remember the dude with the axe, Maloon, who had the brainworm
Oh, yeah.
yes.
and the yawning portal? Yeah, he's a part of like another adventuring party that she employs. She has her hands in lots of pies. And the city also has its own way of defending itself. It has the walking statues. It has the Order of Maguses and whatever it is. The city watch, like
Great
Waterdeep
hands.
can take care of itself pretty well.
Actually, we are part of the Grey Hands.
Yeah. I think before, because you guys were like underlings, she was calling you like the Gray Fingers or something. But yeah. So the city has been holding itself together. The dragon staff will make it to where she can just, say a word and it's taken care of.
But it's a temporary solution to a permanent problem.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
band-aid.
Yeah.
So
So,
Ira's like, so how are we dealing with any of this? Does anybody have any idea?
Well, we need to figure out what's
Do we know what's
causing
causing
it.
it? Do we have an idea?
I think
Elric was talking about mythols.
it sounds like the work of a mythol. The bookworm is getting a book for me to look into it.
So what's
I
a
think I need to go
mythol?
visit them tomorrow. It's an ancient magical artifact that can basically has a much more potent magic that can affect very large areas. So, like, there is a mythal that can affect dragons in the area.
It's a big area.
Yeah, very, very large.
She nods. It's okay. So there's a magic thing that we have to find and turn off.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or
Progress.
destroy or whatever. You know.
Sounds like it's got to be pretty big if it affects a very large area, like a continent.
Well, the original thing that causes this is a whole heckin' comet or something in space. So I'd say that's probably pretty big. I don't think Chris has an actual concept of how large a comet is, but it's probably big.
Oh, we also know that Chris isn't affected by it for some reason.
Yeah, I don't know what that's.
Chris isn't a real dragon then.
Excuse you. Excuse.
Oh, I'm sorry. Just deductive reasoning. It's like
The
just,
weird,
you know.
the weird thing about that is it was like the magic was trying to get at Chris and couldn't. It was like it should have affected her, but something was preventing that.
So that's one of the reasons I left the blood with Vajra, was so that she could look into the magical whatever.
Did
So it
you
sounds
give her-
like we need to figure out what Vajra knows.
Which is what we're looking forward to when we give her that salad
Is that today or tomorrow?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
So unless you guys have anything else you want to do in the city or any other discussions that need to be had, we can fast forward to you guys having a meal at Vajra's.
Oh, I want to go find Leaf's puppet. Leaf's little doll, little creepy doll, hanging around wherever.
Yeah. Oh, also,
And-
I forgot about Leaf entirely. Like you guys have noticed that you've been in and out of the inn a few times. Like when you go into the inn, like your hats and or coats or whatever are just like taken off of you and put on hooks.
Aw.
And like every once in a while, a table will just like you'll look at it and it'll have like plates and cups and things on it, and the table will be dirty. And you look back and everything's like neatly stacked and the table's wiped down.
Aw,
Wherever
that's
the
pretty
puppet is in the house, Chris, it's not where you left it.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm gonna go find it. And I'm going to give Leaf a Earth Elemental tooth necklace also.
Done. Sure. You just hang it around the little wooden puppet.
Yeah,
Cool.
I like your
for
little
travel.
bear illustration.
Thanks. I didn't realize we were back at the chapter.
There's just
trying
bears.
our garden.
So the next day, you guys go to have dinner with Vajra, joined in with a salad and a bowl. Just one salad. You go to the Blackstaff Tower because it's the only place that's the only place you ever seen her. The doors open up. She is sitting behind her desk, writing on something with the 3 vials of blood that you gave her, like out in front of her, in a little, I forget what it's called, little thing you use to hold test tubes in front of her, and she looks up at the group of you.
The test tube rack.
Is it just a test tube? That sounds completely reasonable. Looks up at the group of you, takes a deep breath, nods, puts the pen down, scoops up the vials, walks around the desk to the front of it next to the fireplace, and motions to the fireplace, which has a fire in it, and is like, join me upstairs. And there's no stairs in this room.
Is it through the fire? Is it in the fire?
She nods. And it's like, sorry, it's kind of weird, but yeah.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Does it feel hot? Is the fire on?
No,
or-
the temperature in here is always the same.
Oh, okay. Then
Like it's
I
always the
walk
perfect
through.
temperature. Okay, so Chris, she steps into the fire engulfs her body, and she vanishes.
Oh my gosh, Chris! Oh,
Now Vajra like rolls her eyes and steps in behind her.
I'll
what the hell
follow.
you do? Hold on.
nervous, but I go.
So eventually, one by one, you guys all vanish in the flames. You find yourself standing in similar positions as you were on the first floor on and what looks like a entry chamber to a house. Like it's not the see-through obsidian like glass here, even though that's what the whole tower looks like it's made out of. It's like a big it's got a great hall, like a big long hall. Rooms and things off to either side, and in the center of it is a big long like a giant ass dining table. This room looks bigger than the tower, like in widthwise than the tower does on the outside. And the table, like this big long table, is set for a banquet. There's every kind of there's like a whole roasted turkey and a pig with an apple in its mouth and alcohol and all kinds of different desserts. And she motions toward the table and she's like, come sit down, we have a lot of talking to do. I need to know what you know, and you need to know what I know, but we may as well eat while we talk. And if there's something you want and you don't see it on the table, just let me know.
Are there any vegetarian options?
Jordan brought a salad.
Jordan brought a salad. What would you like?
Like I guess not that salad because they made that specifically for you, but a salad would be nice. Maybe
She
some fruit.
nods. Do you have a preference of dressing?
Not really. I mean, I don't even need dressing to be honest.
She like looks over and like as she looks over you can see that all along the walls there are these little like holes, like maybe a foot and a half in diameter, like just along the floor. And she looks over at one and a cat comes out of it, like a little like orange tabby cat. It looks up at her and goes, "Meow." And she's like, yes, Gregory, do me a favor. Kelrick here would like a salad, so maybe some mixed greens, vegetables, tomatoes, and the lot. He wasn't specific, so just make a fancy salad. And the cat goes, "Meow," and disappears back down the hole.
Oh.
And a couple of minutes later, the cat comes back out with a salad, like on a tray, balanced on its back.
Oh.
And jumps up onto the table, drops the salad in front of Kelrick, rubs up against Kelrick, and then disappears back down the hole.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
She's like, hey, I appreciate you saying thank you, but the cat's not real.
Oh. Well, thank you then.
She nods. It's just, I don't know. I thought they were cute.
They are very cute.
She nods. Right. So, fill me in. The hell is going on?
I relay the information that I have picked up from my interactions with different dragons.
She nods and then like she's like, I think I'm gonna need a stiffer drink. And she looks down at one of the holes and a cat comes out, like a little black cat with like a white diamond on its forehead. And she's like, ah, yes, Festus, do me a favor and go get me a whiskey, a double. And the cat wow, disappears down the hole and a couple minutes later comes back out with a glass of whiskey, and like curls up on her lap and she starts like petting the cat while she's talking. She takes a big slug of whiskey and she goes, so the vials of blood that you gave me, it seems like the magic, the actual magic of the universe, the weave, is being pulled toward it in a way that is very odd. Something that I can confirm is probably caused by a mythol. What I've been able to do is track it. I think I can make a beacon or a mechanism, something by which we can find what direction that's coming from,
Ooh.
and at least sort of like a compass that would point our way toward it. It'll take me a day or two, and I'm going to have to call in some favors. But if I can get that into your hands, she shrugs. A mythol is the only thing powerful enough to do this. I just don't know where it is or what it is. But I can at least make you something that can find it.
Okay, well, That sounds great. We'll do
The
that.
odder thing. So some of the dragons that have lived through dragon rages before had a very simple way of dealing with it. They would just go to sleep. They go into like a state of hibernation that makes it to where it doesn't affect them. The magic still claws at them, but it can't touch them, from what I've seen.
So
And
that's what we interrupted when we woke up. Let's
Sh-
see.
she shrugs. Well, it seems to be having a very similar effect on you, Chris.
What, me?
She nods.
But I'm awake.
She nods. And I know you believe yourself to be a dragon. We're not going to argue about whether you are or not. But the
I
fact that the
huff
magic,
and I cross my arms over my chest.
yeah, the fact that the magic is trying to affect you but can't, in a similar way to a dragon that's asleep, is somewhat strange.
Mhm.
So could you tell me what it is that makes you believe you're a dragon?
Well, I mean, both
Did
of
you
my
wake up one
parents were
day and
dragons.
she cocks her head to the side? Like, did they tell you they were dragons, but they looked like
No,
you, or were
no,
they?
they're dragons. Like,
Takes another big drink of whiskey.
I don't know what you're not getting.
Well, you look like a human girl, and you are currently telling me that you were raised by dragons.
I mean, I just
I'm not
haven't
saying
hit
it's impossible,
puberty yet.
or
It's
it's
just
just
what I look
strange.
like.
What'd you say? I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
This is just what I look like. I haven't hit puberty yet.
Chris, dragons don't look like people till they hit puberty. They hatch out of eggs and they look like dragons.
Yeah,
I'm
I
not
hatched
saying
out of an egg, and I just look like this until I hit puberty.
she sort of like pinches her nose. And she's like, I'm not saying you're not a dragon. In fact, the fact that the mythal that seems to be affecting dragons is clawing at you leads credence to that. What I am saying is that if you are a dragon, your immunity to the magic is interesting and potentially helpful. But the state you are in right now is decidedly not draconic, whether you're in puberty or not. I've never met a dragon, and I've met a few, that transitioned from one form to another because of puberty.
I don't know. That's what my parents said. Probably. Maybe. Yeah, I think that's what they told me.
And where are your parents now?
I don't know.
When was the last time you saw them?
How long have I been in Waterdeep?
Like a year and a half?
Yeah, like 2 years ago, maybe.
So where did they go 2 years ago?
I don't know.
And did they say anything to you before they left?
No.
So you just woke up one day and they were gone.
Well, I mean, like, I went out hunting and I came back and they were gone. But yeah.
No signs of a struggle. Some adventuring party that was misguided didn't show up after them.
I don't know.
What color were they?
Uh,
She opens a notebook. Actually, she asks a cat, and a cat brings her a notebook.
so
A
this is
cat
the
named
part
Fred.
where Sydney doesn't remember what we said. Are they
I don't know.
gold or?
Make it up.
You've asked me like 3 times, and I think each time I've given you
Giving you a different answer. Well, this one will be in game, so it'll be codified.
Okay.
It'll be it'll be like the canon answer.
Okay. Well,
So go ahead
in
and
my
pick.
head, one of them is a fire dragon and one water. I don't
A
know.
fire. So red dragons tend to be evil, but your parents weren't evil dragons, right?
I don't think so.
Well,
Probably
let's look
not.
at dragons. Gold
Aren't there
dragons.
gold ones.
Gold
Fire
dragons breathe fire. Yeah.
Mhm.
So like maybe a gold dragon and a blue dragon.
Sure.
Because blue dragons like water. Okay. And she
But
goes,
blue dragons are evil, aren't they?
no.
Okay.
Let's look at the Forgotten Realm. No, like black dragons are evil. I don't think blue dragons are evil. Because isn't
I thought all the metallic ones were
are blues metallic?
good,
I don't fucking know.
and all the chromatic ones were evil.
Yes, this is true. I just don't remember which ones go in which group. Blue
Well,
dragons are lawful evil. This is true.
okay.
How about a brass dragon?
Yeah, okay, I don't know.
Those are chaotic good. It's a couple of good dragons. A fire one and a water one. She nods and goes, so these dragons raise you, tell you that when you hit puberty, you'll turn into a dragon. You go out hunting one day, and then they just vanish with no word.
Yeah.
And what were their names?
Don't ask Sydney these questions.
Let's look at a dragon name generator until we find one that you like. Frogras. Othe.
You would think I would have done this already, but
Nah, you didn't have enough time.
Undarth. The Scary.
hmm.
I don't like any of these. I don't like any of those. Aethel? I like Aethel. That's okay.
Yeah.
We could, okay, Aethel. That's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
That's obviously the girl dragon's name.
Okay, and then the
That's what
male
I would
name.
assume.
I don't like any of those.
Aethel and
Galvin? No. I don't like
Arthi.
Galvin. Maidiness?
Aethel the chill and Galvin the warm.
Anian? Caradian? Zagite? Burden? I don't like any of those. Elruth? I like that, okay. Egot. I like Egot.
Ooh, EGOT is good.
Okay.
I like EGOT. That's cool.
She writes the names down and she's like, well, if they were adult dragons, somebody's going to know where they went, what happened to them, where they came from. I'm going to look into it, and I'm going to try to figure out what's going on with you. Can I get a sample of your blood?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I spill it every day.
Oh, actually, I think I have one.
Oh, okay. Or you can get it from Kelrick.
Good, because she was talking to a cat and was about to get a syringe.
Yeah, I have a vial of Chris's blood in my inventory.
So you pass over a vial of Chris's blood. She's like, I'm not going to ask why you had this. So,
I
mean,
picked
there
it
are
up after
lots
the
of-
last dragon fight because it was everywhere.
there's
Yeah,
a
there's lots of
Draco Rage mythal.
opportunities.
I'm going to help you find it. I'm going to give you something that will help us locate it. Once we locate it, we're going to have to figure out how to destroy it or turn it off or what's causing it. I'm going to need a day to get this sorted out. I'm also going to send Maloon and his group looking for Chris's parents because I don't believe the fact that your parents vanished and then you're magically immune to the dragon rage and that you look like this and not a dragon, even though you say you're a dragon, are unrelated.
Plenty of dragons look like this. I mean, not exactly like this. They don't
Name
have
3.
sense of style. I mean, I've met all sorts of dragons that look like people.
Name 3.
There's
can name one.
Arnox. And,
Looks like a dwarf when you met him. Did not look like a dwarf when he exploded. He was casting polymorph on himself. Are you polymorphed?
I don't know, maybe.
I mean, I could cast a spell magic on you, but then I'm afraid if you are a dragon, you'll turn into a dragon and go insane in my house.
It's for science, though.
She shakes her head. He was being affected by the Draco Rage even when he was in his polymorph form. I don't think that's the solution, but I do believe that, Chris, if you are a dragon, which right now I have no reason to believe you're not, other than the fact that you don't look like one, And the fact that the Dragon Rage doesn't affect you, and the fact that your parents disappeared right before it started, or 2 years prior, it's too coincidental. There's something there.
Have you ever considered becoming a detective?
Cocks her head at the side. No, I'm too smart for that.
I'd say.
There's a reason I'm in charge of a whole college of wizards, Layla.
Yes.
And it's because I'm pretty. She smiled at you.
It's true. Kalayla smiles back. She's like, you know. And then she like kind of twirls her hair.
So, enjoy your meals, and you guys are, I'm assuming, eating the whole time this is going on.
Oh yeah.
And she's like, I'm going to get drunk and pass out, and tomorrow I'm going to make a thing that tracks a magical aura that seems to spread across thousands of, not hundreds of thousands of miles, in hopes that we can figure out what's causing all the dragons in the world to go insane.
Don't
Do you
forget to
want
drink
help?
water.
Do you want help getting drunk? I could use a.
No, I have the cats for that.
I meant in a different manner.
No, that's a very pleasant offer, Layla, but it would be very distracting.
Sometimes a distraction is good.
She shakes her head. No.
Womp womp.
How you say womp womp.
Drink water.
She nods. Don't worry, I have a hangover cure.
But he said why?
So
I
yeah,
am a hangover cure.
you guys have a meal with Vajra. She seems very interested in Chris. She's apparently going to make you a thing that will pull together the tendrils of the weave that are trying to tear into Chris, and use that to track the source of the Dragon Rage, which we've sort of confirmed, or at least in her mind, is a mythol. Which is some sort of very high elven magic crafted probably several thousand years ago.
Cool.
And that is probably a good place to stop. With you guys
Nice.
finishing up your meal with with Vajra.
Ooh, do we get like temporary hit points and like fancy stuff? Is it a good
No.
feast? Oh, okay. Well, she's just
I
rich.
mean, no, it's a wizard's tower.
Oh.
Just as a side note of not overly importance, at some point Kelrick will probably stop by the loan office and give what's his nuts an update.
Ball?
Yeah.
Bow? Sure.
Sharp teeth and bitey face.
Yeah. You just go by yourself?
Probably, because
Okay.
it's my job.
Cool. So at some point, Kellerick slips off. And and yeah, he is understandably worried. Tells you that oh god, I just forgot the dragon's name. Klauth. Tells you that Klauth has not gotten any better, but luckily cannot get out of that room. Vajra has visited him a few times to make sure that the proper wards are in place, because Klauth has lived through a dragon rage before, knew this was a possibility, and built like fail safes to keep him in that room. He can't escape violently, at least, and is not in a mind to be able to get out. So he's still trapped in there. He's still trapped in there with his horde just raging away. And Val has to go every once in a while and just throw throw some animals in there for him to eat. And has been sort of trying to keep up on him, but he says, yeah, it's not going well. And if there's anything that he can do to aid you along, if there's lots of people that owe Klauth money, and lots of them owe him lots of money. So if you need something, you can come to him, and he knows ways to pressure them. He says
It is making you help.
Yeah. He says, I don't leave the loan office, though.
Oh, that's fine. If we do need anything, I'll let you know. I just thought you might want an update.
Do you update him on anything else, or is it strictly dragon stuff?
Probably strictly dragon stuff. Although
He's like a worried mother, too. Like that's like which is a really bizarre
look on him.
like emotion, yeah, to like be presented because he's this tall, slender, like he has a big white like powdered wig, like the sharp teeth, pallid skin, no irises. He has like shark eyes, like doll eyes. They're just black. They're like he has white eyes and then just black circles in the center of them. He's just a very like alien thing. So to see him have like genuine concern is very off-putting. Like anytime he has smiled or laughed or now he's showing concern, like that seems so weird, like on his face that it like makes your skin crawl. Like it just doesn't suit him.
Yeah, no, I'll probably stick to just dragon stuff.
Okay.
Um,
Okay. All right. Well, you update him.
cool.
All right. Anything else anybody wants to do this evening?
I
Bale.
would like.
That's how you say his name. Bale.
I'd like
Oh,
to visit Vincent. Talk to him about his detective work.
Okay. You knock on his front door.
Yeah.
Okay. He opens the door and he looks like we've all seen I think at this point we mostly see it as satire, but we've all seen the old detective stories of the rough and tumble detective with the fedora and the trench coat. You know, like Dick Tracy. He looks like that. And he looks like that when he answers the door. So he opens the door and he's this sort of like strange, out of place looking figure, and he just sort of looks you up and down.
I hear like a narrator voice and how he's talking to himself.
I knew she was trouble when I opened the door. Those horns just wouldn't quit.
And she had nerves for days.
No, so he just opens the door and like looks you up and down and he goes, "Can I help you?"
No, but I was actually wondering if I could help you. See, the other day, I was following you and, noticed that you were going about your business, snooping into other people's business, which is
He sort of looks
none
at you
of my business.
strangely. He goes, "Yeah, it kind of is none of your business there, friend, and it's a little odd that you were following me, but snooping into other people's business is my business. That's what I get paid to do.
I figured,
Want to hire me?"
No, I don't necessarily need your assistance yet. Maybe at a later date. But until then, I was wondering if maybe you need a hand tracking down nefarious people.
He shrugs. I'm gonna be honest with you, friend. So we're neighbors, so I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't really need help tracking down nefarious people. Like 80% of my business is just like cheating spouses.
That's fair. I'm sure you make a pretty
like
money on that.
Mostly people just want to know if like their husband or wife or whatever is cheating on them. It's pretty easy.
It's fair. I guess if you have an hour or a day to spend on that, then
He nods. But I mean, you were following me yesterday, and he kind of looks up and down the street, and you can see behind him is just like it's like somebody's house. It's like a sitting room, like a living room with a fireplace and a couch and chairs and a little coffee table. He motions you into the house. He shuts the door behind you if you come inside.
yeah, I'll step inside.
And he shuts the door and locks it, and he goes, "But How far were you following me?
The entire time until you,
Into the house.
yeah, in the house as well to see. I don't know his name, but he was with somebody.
You saw that without me seeing you.
I'm very good at what I do.
He nods. That you are. I tell you what, if I ever get a case that's not a cheating husband or whatever, something more complicated, I will come knocking.
Thank you. I'll admit my prices are pretty steep, but for you, I'll make them more reasonable.
He shrugs. Typically, I charge 50 gold pieces a day plus incidentals.
Seems a little low, but we can work with that.
He shrugs. Like I said, it's mostly just cheating spouses. Every once in a while, somebody has a lost cat. I'm not out there saving the world or anything. It seems way more up your alley.
One day at a time.
He like nods. He goes, well, if I come across anything complicated or that requires a special handling, I'll let you know.
Appreciate your time, Vincent.
He nods. I appreciate you coming up to me and letting me know that you snuck up behind me and followed me through a house. That's not weird at all.
No, definitely not.
He shows you out of the house.
All right. Well, I see myself out.
Cool. All right. Anything else? We good for the evening?
I guess so.
So
I got a
Oh,
19.
I did want to ask.
Chris.
I wanted to ask Vajra about the eyeball amulet. I'm just asking everyone.
I don't think she's proficient in religion. Let me find her.
Also, who's Ball? Bale?
You've never met him.
I did meet him once.
Oh, you did? No, he's the guy who works the front office at Klaus.
Hey.
Bank.
Gotcha.
I've never met him.
Is religion intelligence based or wisdom?
Intelligence, which is why I'm so bad at it.
She doesn't know either. She's never seen it before.
Oh well.
She rolled a 10. She didn't roll great.
Vajra, I thought you knew everything.
I mean, she has a +5 to her intelligence.
It's pretty good.
So she's got 20 intelligence. She just doesn't know everything. So, GG. I'm gonna play Overwatch.
Okay.
We gotta do the thing.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
where's my
Oh
notes?
yeah.
I had to
Cats.
throw.
How about cats?
Yeah,
I
I
did
vote
cats.
cats.
I had to throw half my notes out for tonight because Rachel and Denny weren't here, and I had a thing planned for them. You
As
guys are
usual.
level 11. Adventure time.
Yay.
Return to the severed head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I figured, I don't know, I'd give you guys an opportunity to wander around Waterdeep again, get your bearings, see some NPCs you hadn't seen in a while,
Hooray!
hang out with the kids.
Yeah.
So coolest moments.
Cats.
Cats.
Yeah, cats are good. I like the cat. I liked Ira going to see Layla's religion boss.
Yay!
Oh, conspiracy board. We can't forget about the conspiracy board.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
That was pretty epic because
Yeah.
I didn't follow any of that, but having
okay, it's all in
Ira
my
being
head.
that crazy.
It was
Yeah.
great.
Definitely gonna have to rewatch the stream on that.
Basically, Asmodeus is a giant tailless wing monster who got in a fight with a winged tail monster and lost.
It's like a creation myth for the multiverse, like the D&D cosmology, where there was these two great serpents. One was formed from like they were the idea of law, like they created the idea of law, and they got an argument about where the center of the universe should be, and they attacked each other, and one of them didn't have wings, so they couldn't fly, so when it got knocked out, it fell into Beator, which is the 9 hells, to the bottom layer, which is where Asmodeus lives. And the other one, because it had wings, flew up and went into the Mount Celestia, where all the good gods hang out. So Ira's thought process, at least, was that if this winged serpent that helped create the universe fell into Beator at the bottom level, well, that's where Asmodeus is. So this winged serpent must be Asmodeus, or Asmodeus must be this serpent thing. And I don't know. She seemed a little cracked out. And it didn't really seem to have like a point. She was just like, this is going to help me figure out what he wants. I don't know how, but it's totally going to help.
Asmodeus, the wingless serpent. Got it.
I mean, there's other myths where he was like, he's a fallen angel, and sometimes he's a god, and sometimes the devils are like the blood of a evil god that got killed during the creation of the earth, and Asmodeus is just the best at being a devil, so he gets to be their leader. Like, there's other myths, but for some reason, Ira clawed onto that one. Any other cool moments? We got her cats. Vajra visits the Heart Warder. Ira's conspiracy board. That's what I said.
I like the.
What'd you say?
Oh, I like the whole coming in back into the severed head and like the atmosphere. Like Finn was there, and then the bodyguard, and like basically the ghost Leaf taking our goats and busting the tables. Just
Cool. All right.
I
MVP.
also like our bartender being like, "Give me an hour."
I must get ingredients.
Boris is overdramatic.
I think Boris is MVP.
Boris is.
Okay. Okay, but here, seriously, who gets MVP, guys? We gonna give it to the cats? We give it to Boris? We give it to Layla, Kelrick, Jordan, or Chris?
Early light session.
Yeah, I think for roleplay, I think I'd give it to the DM actually.
I give it to all of us for realsies.
But if I had to choose a player character, I'd give it to Layla.
The idea is it's a player character, yeah. So I got one vote for Layla.
Yeah, sure. Why not? For incest.
Oh.
What?
What?
How is Layla incest?
Layla in the Pale.
Oh. I was like, that's a little masturbatory. Like,
Well, you know.
stroking your own ego there.
I mean, they're both Azamars. Obviously, both attractive. So.
It's just bound to happen.
It's just, it's bound to happen, really.
Well, hey, it's something that Cassie and Layla kind of have in common.
I don't remember Cassie wanting to bang everything. Was that?
No.
Well, she had her like what was that continent called where we were?
Chult experience.
Yeah, she had a Chult boyfriend, didn't she?
She was really after.
There was like a dude in
the guy
town.
who had the Ring of Winter. Oh, the like gladiator dude that tried to beat her up.
Yeah, we had a thing for a while. Cassie and.
Yeah, but I feel like Cassie, Artis. She was after Artis, and Artis is like, I have to find my wife.
And then she's like, well, this will help you find your wife. And
Yeah, at
gave
the
him a
end of it,
hearthstone.
You gave him a thing that let him teleport,
Yeah.
which also will really help him hide the Ring of Winter. I figure at some point he'll make like an appearance. Because why wouldn't he?
Throwback.
No shit. Nice.
Well, I will join you in some Overwatch. Right
Alright,
after
guys.
the move.
GG's.
Night.
Yeah.
Good night, everybody.
Night.
Love you.